Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT February 12th review. February 12th, 2020 review, may I add, if you don't already know what year we're living in. What did I think of NXT from Wednesday? Well, felt the show was okay. Felt it was not exactly the greatest build towards NXT TAKEOVER Portland being the last show. Not being the worst build to any NXT TAKEOVER show, but just as an overall go-home show, this was not exactly what I call one of the top memorable go-home shows I've ever seen. Roderick Strong kicked off the show with talking about Velveteen Dream's interaction with him and interfering in the matchup, and attacking the Undisputed Era. So Strong goes on to say that this is about him and Dream, about how he put Strong's wife and son on his gear, and Strong says that was a disrespectful, and he should have known it wouldn't take Dream long to cross the line and make it personal. So this is based off of the idea of having his family on Velveteen Dream's pants. So Strong says he will hurt Dream and do something he will not regret. Strong demands an apology and fans boo. The music interrupts and out comes Bronson Reed instead. Reed says they have a problem for what happened last week and they're going to get it on. So Bronson Reed and Roderick Strong kickstart the show in an impromptu match. This match was alright, I guess. I wasn't super excited for it. But it was okay nonetheless. Pretty much Strong catches Reed on the way down with a big knee strike from the top rope when he was trying to do a frog splash, and Strong covers for the pin and the win. So after the match, Dream appears on the big screen as Strong stands tall in the ring. He brings up Strong's wife, Marina Shafir, and shows how he has Call Me Marina on his tights. Dream goes on about how Strong took something from him. Strong may have lost the North American title already, but he still has a family. Dream shows a photo of Strong's wife and son on the big screen, and Dream wonders what would happen if something happened to Strong. Dream promises that if something did happen to Strong, someone somewhere would make sure Shafir had all her dreams fulfilled. Dream shows how he has Strong's family painted on his tights again, and Strong is furious as he storms out of the ring to the back. Throughout the show, we had Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne going ahead and trying to travel to Portland. The first segment of the show was showing Pete Dunne driving with Matt Riddle, and they got pulled over. Kind of making me think they were going to get pulled over for having pot in the car. Wink, wink. Rob Van Dam and Sabu in real life. So I thought maybe they were going to do some spoof off of that, but they didn't. And that was pretty much that. That was it. And Kathy Kelly is backstage and interviews Angel Garza, and he's confident about tonight's number one contenders match. Leo Rush interrupts and says he can't stop thinking about losing his NXT Cruiserweight title, and he's hungrier and better now. Whether Garza likes it or not, he's getting the title back. Rush walks off and Garza mocks him. And that's pretty much that. That match was actually pretty damn good, by the way. So, just breaking into it, Lio Rush wins that match. Then we have Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai with a little bit of storyline build here between these two young ladies. This match was alright. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was average, at least, but nothing special. Kai actually just pulls off a roll-up and gets the 1-2-3. She managed to counter and actually get the 1-2-3 and win the match. So Dakota Kai didn't really cheat in this match so much. She really just looked for a good spot to get her, and she got lucky and got the win. And that was pretty much that. This match I really didn't have any complaints for, and I was pretty satisfied with it nonetheless. So after the match, the music hits as Kai goes to the floor to celebrate and exit. LeRae is shocked. LeRae following Kai around the ring, but Kai sends her face first into the ring post. Kai then grabs the timekeeper's bell and drives it into LeRae, sending her down. Tegan Nox suddenly attacks out of nowhere, dropping Kai and mounting her with attacks. Security and officials run down to break the fight up. Nox runs up the ramp and tackles Kai on the stage as they pull them apart again. So this storyline's building and increasing with a lot of friction and disliking to one another more and more each and every week. Eventually, this has got to be pushed on some kind of pay-per-view takeover show. Probably in Tampa. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep extending it like this, unless they decide to make this to end the rivalry on national television, which could possibly happen. But I'd prefer it being done on a takeover show of some sort, of any kind, really. Doesn't matter if it's Tampa or somewhere else, and like couple of months after that or whatnot. Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes. This match was pretty okay. I actually thought Grimes was pretty damn good in this match with Johnny Gargano, but then Johnny Gargano is a pretty damn good wrestler. So the bell rings and they go back and forth to start. Fans are hot to start doing dueling chants. They end up on the mat with a few minutes of mat wrestling Gargano with offense, while keeping Grimes grounded on the mat. Gargano goes for the Garga no escape now, and Gargano keeps the submissions going while Grimes looks for the ropes. They get up and Grimes drops Gargano with a big knee to the gut. Grimes keeps Gargano grounded by his arm now, and Gargano comes back with a big kick and a hurricanrana. Grimes ends up on the outside and Gargano with a big boot from the apron. Gargano runs the apron and hits a big running cannonball to the floor for a big pop. Fans chant Johnny Wrestling, and Gargano chops Grimes against the barrier now as fans cheer him on. Gargano with more big chops as fans woo along with him. Gargano brings him back in, but Grimes rocks him on the apron. Gargano tries to fly in. Gargano tries to fly in with a springboard DDT, but Grimes blocks it. Grimes keeps the comeback going and levels Gargano with a big lariat. We go to commercial break with Grimes in control. Back from the commercial break, they are still going at it. Grimes whips Gargano hard into the corner, then catches him with a big German suplex. Gargano kicks out at 2, and Gargano lands a big counter. More back and forth as they trade shots. Gargano slams Grimes and kicks him in the head. Gargano charges and turns Grimes inside out with a clothesline. Fans pop as Grimes goes to the floor for a breather. They bring it back in the ring, and Gargano nails the slingshot spear from the apron for a close 2 count. They trade more submissions and counters now. Grimes drives Gargano down with a tilt-a-whirl slam for another close pin attempt. They trade big strikes in the middle of the ring now. They run the ropes several times and collide in midair with crossbody attempts. Grimes covers for the pin attempt, but he can't get it. Fans chant NXT. Now as we get a replay, fans chant for Gargano as Grimes pounds on him. Gargano dodges a move and then hits a super kick. Grimes comes back with a super kick of his own. They tangle again until Gargano spikes Grimes with a big DDT. Gargano looks to put Grimes away, but Grimes counters with a big kick to the head. More back and forth until Gargano counters and drops Grimes into a Garga no escape. And Grimes quickly taps out after that. And that's how Johnny Gargano wins. This match, I have to say, was pretty damn good. I was not disappointed. I thought it was a very solid, entertaining match. Let's see here. Back from the break, Gargano's music hits as we go to replays. Gargano speaks to the camera and has a few words for Finn Balor, hoping he was watching ahead of their TakeOver Portland match on Sunday. Kathy Kelly is backstage with NXT champion Adam Cole, baby. Roderick Strong is also there, pacing around because he's upset. Cole says he will teach a lesson to Kushida tonight and then teach one to Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver. Cole goes on and says his life is the NXT title. He talks more about being champion and Ciampa, then dismisses Kathy. We get another segment with footage of Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne on a boat this time, now that they had the car taken away from them because Pete Dunne didn't really have a license, and nor did Matt Riddle. I wonder why. So they're on a boat trying to get their way to Portland, and it seems like a big fucking retarded waste of segments that they did with Pete Dunne trying to be comedic, and to me it didn't seem to succeed at all. It seemed a little too much WWE main roster SK type bullshit, so I didn't really particularly care for this all that much. Back from the break, we see Robert Stone in a meeting room somewhere. He dresses Kaden Carter and her recent win over Chelsea Green, saying she won't be so lucky again. Green goes on and says there will be a rematch next week, but not just a rematch, there will be a relaunch of the Robert Stone brand. Green appears and says not just that, we will also see the resurgence of the NXT's best superstar next week. Nigel confirms Roderick Strong will actually face Velveteen Dream next week on Wednesday's show. This should be main event type material for a NXT regular show. So that should be very fun to watch and see how that all unfolds on that episode. So we had Lio Rush versus Angel Garza. We go to the ring, and out comes first Lio Rush. And the winner of this match will earn a future title shot against the NXT Cruiserweight Champion Jordan Devlin. Angel Garza is out next. Muro talks about how Garza has been helping Zelina Vega on Raw as of late, which to me they seem like a very nice little package. I think they work very well, but you don't want to take Andrade Cien Almas out of the whole picture, because I think Andrade benefits being with Zelina Vega very much, especially the fact that he doesn't have fluent English. Though I am very, very open to the idea of Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas being a tag team and maybe even winning tag team gold together. I think that would be very nice for these two guys. It would give Zelina Vega also the ability to manage both of them or in tag team action. So I think that would be beneficial to both men. And like I said, Zelina Vega really blends well with Angel Garza. So with them two together, I'm okay with that as long as Andrade is with her as well. If she's not with him, then I got a problem with it, because I don't see Andrade Cien Almas benefiting being alone. He needs somebody to help him with his speech. He needs a mouthpiece. Zelina Vega is that mouthpiece. She's his version of Paul Heyman, though she's nowhere near Paul Heyman in any way, shape, or form. Especially not the form. She definitely has a nice body, but as it goes of having the mouth, being able to say what you need to say and sound genuine, he's definitely the guy. Paul Heyman, not Zelina Vega. But she does a decent job nonetheless. So the bell rings, and Garza loses the pants early on. My God, that is really getting old fast. I wish they would stop doing that every single match. Maybe do it once in a while. But every match gets a little regurgitating and somewhat boring. So, Garza, they go at it and back and forth early on. Garza blocks an early come up, and Garza drops Rush with a big drop kick after they run the ropes on each other. We're back and forth for a few minutes, and Garza with more offense as Rush keeps trying. They end up on the floor as Garza dominates. Garza scoops Rush and rams him into the apron and the steel steps. Garza with a big kick to the back. Garza returns to the ring and leaves Rush out on the floor as we go to commercial break. Back from the commercial break, and Rush nails a big suicide dive to Garza on the floor. Rush barely connects with a corkscrew senton from the apron to the floor. Rush brings it back in, and they tangle, but Garza kicks out at 2. More back and forth action, but Rush gets the upper hand again. Rush goes for the come up, but it's blocked again with a big drop kick to the back. Garza keeps control with a double underhook to drive Rush face first into the mat. They end up on the top, and Rush unloads with headbutts. Rush goes on and hits a big super crusher to the mat. Garza lands hard but rolls to the floor to avoid the pin. Fans chant Leo as he goes to the top and nails a huge finna. Our frog splash on the floor. Rush hits it, but Garza may have got some in the way. Fans chant NXT as Rush brings it back in the ring, and Rush goes for the final hour again, but Garza hits his knees up, gets his knees up, and Rush kicks out at 2. Garza comes right back with a huge super kick. They tangle for just a few seconds in the middle of the ring, and Garza goes for the wing clipper, but Rush holds him up for out of nowhere pin to win the match, and Leo Rush is now the number 1 contender for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. I feel that Jordan Devlin and Leo Rush should be at NXT TAKEOVER Portland. I think this would be a great match to kickstart the show and give the NXT Cruiserweight action the ability to star on a pay-per-view show. I think this should be on pay-per-view, which is the NXT TakeOver show itself. So, that's just my overall opinion. Let me know what you guys think on that. I think it would be a great idea for NXT Cruiserweight action to be on an NXT TakeOver show. So after the match, Rush celebrates as his music hits, and we go to replays. Rush heads to the stage to pose, but the music hits, and out comes the Cruiserweight champion, Jordan Devlin. Devlin congratulates Rush and reveals that their match will happen next Wednesday. Well, there you go. That answers my question. So they face off, and Devlin says Rush will just become the next stop on Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight title tour. I wonder who came up with that line before. I don't know, try maybe 3 years ago we had 3 or 4 years ago, we had The Miz say something like that as the Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. Very interesting. Anyway, the announcers announced that NXT North American Champion Keith Lee for WWE Backstage on FS1 next week. And Beth leads us to a video package on the TakeOver Portland title match between Dominik Dijakovic and Lee. The video is narrated by the WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, who previews the match and praises both big men. A very obvious reason to choose Mark Henry since he's the world's strongest man. So we then have the Bianca Belair versus Santana Garrett. Very easy match for Bianca Belair. She picks up the victory very easily in less than 2 minutes or so, and wins the match and walks away. After the match, Belair stands tall as her music hits. Belair takes the mic, takes the mic, and she's not happy with NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley going to Raw to confront Charlotte Flair and wrestle Sarah Logan, acting like Belair doesn't even exist and like they don't even have a match at TakeOver Portland on Sunday. Belair issues a warning to Ripley about Sunday's title match, but the music interrupts and out comes Ripley to the ring. Ripley takes the mic and promises she's not looking past Belair. She's looking right at her, and at TakeOver on Sunday, she's going to run right through her. Belair swings, but Ripley dodges it, and Belair continues and drops Ripley with a KOD in the middle of the ring. Belair stands over Ripley, dances, and swings her long hair around as her music hits. The announcers hype Ripley and Belair's match at TakeOver. And that's pretty much that. Now, my opinion on that match. I do see that these two women will produce a very good match together. Do I see Ripley losing this title? Absolutely not. Belair is not got a shot in hell. She's going up against another woman that is not going to she can't drop the title. Right now, this is a big moment for her. She's going up against Charlotte Flair. I think if she's going to face Charlotte Flair at the WrestleMania 36 pay-per-view, she needs to win that match. This is not a match for Charlotte Flair to become champion for an 11th time in her fucking career. That is one thing I will be totally against. I have heard JD from New York talk about how he doesn't like the idea at all. I like the idea. My problem with it is, will they do the right thing and use Charlotte Flair as a way to help boost Rhea Ripley as their champion on NXT and give her a name? She needs this boost. She needs a win. She can't afford to lose to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair has won 10 women championships. She has done it pretty much all, and she's done it in a very short span in a career. Now, not to mention, none of her title reigns have really meant anything, but she's pushed as the main front of the women's division. I will give her that. But at the end of the day, she doesn't need another title win. She needs to push another woman on their roster and make her just as dominant as she has been in her career. And there's no doubt about it, no matter what you guys think of her career as a wrestler, she's still a dominant force in the women's division. They're always turning to her no matter what. Even if she's related to Ric Flair and she's his daughter and all that bullshit, I don't care. They focus this all on her, as well as Becky Lynch, Bayley from time to time. Sasha Banks is the poor son of a bitch on the outskirts. She's the only one that's really not getting any major boost in this four horsewomen in the bunch. She's really getting the shaft. And I don't know why, and at this point, I don't think she really cares why either. She's kind of just running out her contract and moving on with her life. I'm hoping so. And going somewhere else where she'll be appreciated a lot more than what she is in WWE. That's all I got to say about that. But Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, I am okay with. I think it's a good match. I think it will be fun. But I want to see Ripley win. Charlotte Flair does not need to win anything. She has won a Royal Rumble. She took the Royal Rumble win against Shayna Baszler. Now give back and have Rhea Ripley win her match against you and retain her title. There needs to be a woman from the NXT roster to take the title off of Rhea Ripley. I think the perfect person that would be able to do that, I feel, should be Candice LeRae. As crazy as that might sound, because I was totally against Candice LeRae taking the title off of Shayna Baszler at the time, but Rhea Ripley doesn't have the background of what Shayna Baszler has. So if she gets lucky and picks up a really great win over Rhea Ripley and do the David versus Goliath type of situation, that would work in my opinion. But Shayna Baszler losing to Candice LeRae, I didn't see that was realistic or can even be lucky. Because she has a lot of MMA background. She also has wrestling ability. She has jiu-jitsu skills. She is very well trained in those backgrounds. So seeing her lose to a woman like Candice LeRae, not taking anything away from Candice LeRae, she does a very great job for what she can do in the ring. But she is nothing like Rhea Ripley or any of those women that have been, well, she can't really, you can't look at Candice LeRae and say, oh, Candice LeRae would be a great person to take the title off of Shayna Baszler. A woman like Rhea Ripley's okay for that because she's tall and she's muscular. Now, Candice LeRae doing this to Rhea Ripley is a different story because Rhea Ripley doesn't have the wrestling, well, the MMA background of jiu-jitsu and submission skills and so forth. She's more of a powerhouse wrestler. And we have seen the ability to sometimes show that a smaller guy, the smaller underdog, could overcome the big guy that is the Goliath, winning the matches most of the time. But every once in a blue moon, we see the underdog win a match. And that's like Rey Mysterio and stuff like that. And that would be a similar situation that I wouldn't have a problem with here with Candice LeRae beating Rhea Ripley. So, there you go on that. They gave another clip about Pete Dunne and fucking Matt Riddle getting on a private plane, which is Triple H's plane, and that was that. Very stupid shit. Tommaso Ciampa talks about his situation about losing the championship to injury and wanting to get his life back, which is the NXT World Championship, which I hope does not happen. I hope that is kept for the WrestleMania weekend. I think that would be the better idea here, not at the TakeOver Portland. I think that would be fucking retarded. Because the NXT World title should be the last title taken away from the Undisputed Era at this point. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa was very adamant about how he is very serious about taking this title off of Adam Cole and that he wants his life back. He wants to be the World Heavyweight Champion in NXT and prove that he is the absolute best and that all of 2019 wasn't a complete waste. So, guys, I'm really predicting a disqualification here between Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa. I do not see this match being able to pull out a victory over fucking with Adam Cole picking a victory over Tommaso Ciampa to retain the title. I just can't see that. That would be fucking stupid as fuck. That would mean that you have signified that Adam Cole will actually defeat could have actually defeated Tommaso Ciampa when he was actually champion. I don't agree with that. You don't make Tommaso Ciampa lose to Adam Cole when you're trying to get the title on Tommaso Ciampa to begin with. This is a championship that should change hands on the pay-per-view during the weekend of WrestleMania. Just me. And I'm not saying that because this is taking place where I live. I'm saying that because that's WrestleMania weekend. You don't save it for its own private own fucking TakeOver Portland pay-per-view type bullshit. You do that because you're trying to help give Tommaso Ciampa that big moment. And at a WrestleMania weekend, winning the title, I think would be great. And you have Adam Cole just retain the title by disqualification screw job. And Tommaso Ciampa still actually wins the match by disqualification, of course. So that's how I see it. But here, Adam Cole and Kushida, I didn't really care for this match that much. This match was not all that exciting to me. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I won't say it was bad, but it was average. It was okay. It was nothing big. So Adam Cole, after the match was over, the music hits as Cole takes his title and stands tall. We go to replays of the match, and Cole has his arm raised and poses with the NXT Championship as Mauro marks the 256th day of this title reign. The music interrupts, and out comes Tommaso Ciampa. Cole stares Ciampa down from the ring as he slowly marches down the ramp. Ciampa takes his time, but finally enters the ring as Cole looks on. The music stops, and some fans are chanting for Cole. Fans chant for Psycho Killer. Louder for Ciampa now. And Ciampa circles Cole and stares at the title on his shoulder. They face off in the middle of the ring with Cole holding the title next to their shoulder. I'm rereading the same line. They face off in the middle of the ring with Cole holding the title next to their heads. And Ciampa says he will take his life back at TakeOver Portland on Sunday. Cole says that will not happen over his dead body. And the TakeOver Portland Go Home edition of NXT goes off the air with the challenger and champion facing off in the middle of the ring. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that is the overall consensus of the show. I did like the little bit of build they did here for the NXT World Championship and the NXT Women's Championship. But other than that, the rest of the show is kind of just average. I didn't see anything you could have... You wouldn't have really missed anything except for the last two things with Bianca Belair facing off of Rhea Ripley and having a little bit of a interaction with each other, a confrontation, and also physical stuff done to each other. And then this matchup with Kushida and Adam Cole was pretty decent of a main event. And then Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa just staring each other down with the title being hung high above both of their heads while they talk shit to each other while the show goes off the air. So that's pretty much it, guys. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel now. And leave a comment down below if you have any comments or opinions on this show or what you guys thought of my opinions on the overall results that I think should happen between the Women's Championship and the NXT World Title. I didn't really mention any other results. I may do a preview predictions video, but I'm definitely going to talk about WWE's business ideas of what they're going to do with the WWE Network and some of the WWE major pay-per-views that they got and what they've been talking about for the next quarter coming up before the month of April. So keep in mind that. I will definitely upload that before this weekend is up. Just keep an eye out for it. I thank you very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.